and just start. And just by way of introduction, my name is Rhonda Allen. I'm co-founder at Sustainable X, and we are a sustainability consultancy that help businesses accelerate their sustainability. And we consider sustainability to include not just the environmental, but the social and the really good business practices that are associated with that. And we run this webinar series as part of our Sustainable Expert series, and we always keen and love to talk to businesses that are touching some aspects of sustainability and that are experts in their field. And that's when we bumped into Second Chance. And Charlotte, and it'd be great, Charlotte, just for everyone today, for you to explain a bit about your charity. So tell us about what you do and the landscape where you are, who you work with.
Yeah, sure. And thank you. Thank you for asking us to be part of this. And we very much appreciate it. It's really lovely to have the opportunity to tell you all about what we do at Second Chance. So thank you. We are an employment support charity. And what we do is we teach skills to vulnerable young adults. So people that have been long-term unemployed, or not in the education system, anybody that is looking for a bit of a purpose and to teach a skill and to hopefully help them into employment. And the way we go about doing that is we teach them IT skills and we teach them how to refurbish computers. So we work with a lot of companies and we ask for their old tech. So when a company is refreshing their computers, and we ask them to donate their old tech to us, and we teach people a skill of how to refurbish the technology, so how to refurbish the computers, so we're giving them a second chance. And then once they are refurbished, we use these computers to help bridge the digital divide. So we pass them on to those that are digitally excluded from society, because there's such an enormous gap between those that have access to technology and those that don't. And so we kind of do this whole circular economy of taking something that's of no use, teaching a skill and passing it on to people that can't afford.
So, it plays perfectly into what we do, what our clients are always looking for, because it ticks, and I don't know if this is the wrong thing to say, but it ticks so many boxes, doesn't it? It's supporting the circular economy on the IT equipment, training people up, and then supporting the digital divide, but sort of breaking those parts down. And how do you, what are the main groups of the people that you support? So in terms of that training aspect, how do people find you? Then what do they go on to do after they've learned from you? Do they get a certificate or a certification or?
Yeah, so we work with a lot of charities to say that we are here and to tell them about what we're doing. So it's generally adults that are not in employment, education, or training, and it's young people aged 16 to 25 with an educational healthcare plan. And so it's just people that are very much, as I said, looking for a purpose, looking for a skill, looking to, they might not be doing anything with their day. And so we offer them something to come here, to learn a skill, to meet other people. So it's also not just the IT skills, it's the social skills that are very important. Teaching people about coming to the office on time, helping them with social skills of interacting with others. Just giving people a chance. It's people with, we work with people with physical disabilities, with learning difficulties, with social, emotional, mental health needs, all different people that just need a little bit of support.
And the charities you work with, they'll refer people into your program. Is that, and does it work in cohorts? Do you start, or is it just a rolling induction process?
We have what, in terms of how the people actually,
how your learners, I suppose, or your team, or I don't know what you call them.
So we have,
how they come to you.
Absolutely. So people hear about us. They come in for an initial chat. We speak to them, we find out, you know, a lot about them, about what they're interested in, etc. And we have two forms of training here. We have an informal training, and we have an accredited 50-hour training program that has been accredited by the British Computer Society. So we created a bespoke course for people to learn about exactly how to take apart a computer, all the elements involved, how to put it back together, etc. So we put that all together, and people come along. First of all, they start with the informal training. So it's absolutely, it's free to come along. We have different sessions, 2-hour sessions, during the week that people can come along and have the informal training. And then if they are interested, we also have, as I said, an accredited British Computer Society training program. And people can come along and do that. Now that is there's a fee to that. It's £600 to do that course. But you come away with a qualification. And so therefore we are really trying to be a stepping stone into employment. And we work with people very much to aid them, to help them with, you know, employment. These are people that would find it very difficult to fill out a CV. So we can help them with CV writing, with job hunting, with mentoring. You know, there's lots of different things that we do. A lot of the companies that we work with that donate the computers to us, we're trying to form mentoring programs with them, to see if they can help us with the people that are coming to us to get them into employment afterwards. So there's two different ways of how people can come along to us and how they can train with us.
That's amazing. I mean, it's so important. And what on the computers, so on the talking about the tech, do you accept all equipment, and how can businesses, I mean, I want to get to how businesses can support you and how maybe larger corporates can support you and what you need, but tell me about the tech.
Sure.
Do you accept it all?
In terms of devices that we accept here, we accept working laptops, desktops, tablets, smartphones. We generally say up to 6 years old, because we find that because we want to refurbish them and then pass them on to others that need them, then that gives them a better chance, and they're not just going to suddenly break once they've been refurbished and passed on. So that's generally what we ask for, up to 6 years old. With companies, we collect. It's a free collection. So we will go
to free national collection.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on quantities. So I would say with London, and we're based in London. So with London and surrounding areas, it would be 20 or more devices that we would pick up for free. If, for example, we do collect nationally, but it really depends on how many there are in terms of a free collection, or if the company would have to, if we would ask for a contribution to the cost of collecting them, just because we have to be able to justify that, because we're a small company, a small charity. So, for example, if we're picking up in Manchester, it needs to be, you know, maybe 50 plus devices to be able to justify the journey to pick up.
And do you collect,
in terms of the computers,
do you collect screens and things like that, or is it just
no,
it's just the device?
Just desktops, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. Just because we can't refurbish the screen so much in terms of when the computers are passed on to other people. Generally, there is more of a use for the laptops, to go on for other people to use them for training, for whatever they need to use them for. So we don't really take kind of printers and other things. In terms of when a company is donating to us, we have different ways that a company can pass on the computers. So either we very securely wipe the computers. So we have a system where once a computer comes to our offices, it goes onto our system and we send in a check-in certificate. And so the companies then have assurance that the computer is on our premises and we have it. Once a computer has been fully wiped of all data, and securely wiped, and we do industry level wiping of data, we send another certificate saying all the details that the machine has been wiped. Companies can either ask us to do the full wiping, which we do. Some companies send to us with hard drives already removed, so there's absolutely no risk of anything in terms of data security, and that's absolutely fine. And some companies send to us and ask us to physically destroy the hard drives, and again, we can do that. So we work with companies on whatever is their preference. And again, each element is another skill that we can teach, so we really don't mind.
And for companies they just reach out to you and say, we've got 45 laptops, and what do they get when it's all passed over, and how long does it take to be refurbished, and then what happens at the end? Where does it go, and what does the company get back?
Generally, as soon as we speak to a company, we ask them for an inventory. So they send through the list of devices that they have. Often that's absolutely fine. And we can arrange a collection pretty much within 5 working days. Wow. So it's a very straightforward, smooth system in terms of collecting the devices. We then say it's up to 3 months to fully wipe, depending on how many devices we already have here and what we're doing. Because of the nature of the people that we work with, there's no pressure. It's not a pressurized environment in terms of wiping them. So we do ask, and rebuilding them, we do ask for about 3 months in order to be able to do that. Our model, as it stands, is that 25% of all refurbished devices are donated back to those that need, to help bridge the digital divide. So on a referral basis, and it's all the details are on our website, but we have a scheme whereby charities, schools can contact us and say they can get up to 2 devices a month. That we will donate back, because obviously people now, in order to do, your health checks, your banking, your food shops, to look for a job, for your homework, people really need a computer. So all these things, and we have huge lists of people that are waiting for computers. So we go on and pass the computers on to others. And what happens at that point is, when a company has donated their computers to us and we've gone through the whole journey of checking them into our system, refurbishing them, rebuilding them, and then passing them on to others, we provide social impact reports for companies. And I think this is a thing that's really key in terms of companies' social, in terms of their corporate social responsibility and their ESG goals and everything that they have to, that they have to tick. We can really work with them on a report that can be shared internally, and it very clearly kind of talks about how much waste has been prevented from landfill, how many hours work they have provided for vulnerable adults, quotes from people who have received the computers, if we sold the computers, how much money has been put back into the charity. So they get a full social impact report that I think, it's really great, because that really then brings it back to life, and they can really clearly see how they have gone on to help people. So
I think when we spoke, I think that part, that summing up the impact that you're actually making for the businesses is huge, and it does really bring it to life, that their old piece of PC has been rejuvenated and gone to really support, not only train someone out, but supported someone at the end. It's amazing. What would be a fantastic introduction for you? What would be fantastic for Second Chance? Like, what's your ideal sort of contact? And if an email landed in your email box today, what would you love it to say?
Well, we're a very small charity. And at the moment, we have about 40 vulnerable adults that we are supporting each week that come through our doors. We're a very ambitious charity and we really want to grow. And the only way that we can grow is to receive more and more computer donations.
Right. Okay.
Now, every single company uses a device, right? Everybody's using laptops and desktops, and there are lots of, refurbishing companies out there, which is fantastic. But absolutely, and it's important to say, nothing goes to waste here. So anything, usually everything we receive, we can refurbish and rebuild, and it goes on to others. But if for any reason we can't, we work with recycling partners. So nothing goes to waste. But ultimately, the more computers we receive, the more people we can support, not just through the training, but through those that then receive the computers at the end. And as I said, we have lists of people waiting for computers. So really, as I said, it's a circular
it's that top
economy.
end you need. It's that corporate donation, and it's a donation to you, isn't it? And they may or may not have to pay some transport fees, but that's it.
It's a donation. Usually it is a free collection. And as I said, it's waste for a company. Companies have to pay third parties to pick up the computers from them. Let's say we offer a free service. And we tick all the boxes in terms of corporate social responsibility and how they're going on to help others. And most companies have a load of computers sitting in a cupboard somewhere, or they don't know what to do with them, or they haven't quite got round to refreshing and passing them on. And I think we just offer a very simple, straightforward solution of taking something that is of no use anymore to a company, and it goes on to provide so much importance and value to others. And so really really what we're looking for is more computer donations. So that is definitely number one, because we don't rely on financial donations, although financial donations also are fantastic, but it's really the computer donations, because those go on to provide the work. And if anybody knows of any, people that would benefit from the training and the program that we're offering, we would, love to be able to accommodate more people, so that we can help even more people. And if any companies want to offer any mentoring programs for our trainees, or have any volunteering days and they would like to help us in any element, it's quite important for our trainees to understand the whole running of a charity. So, it might be getting involved in marketing, or it might be, the collection of the computers and the going along to pick them up and the checking them in on the system. There's all different elements. Like, we just really want to be able to provide some form of training program for people that are, excluded from the workplace, and just help them become a bit of a stepping stone into employment for them.
Brilliant. And do you so if anyone wanted to get in touch with you, it's Second Chance with a 2, right? Just to avoid
it is second, yes, 2econd. Yep, they can get through from our website. They can email info@secondchance.co.uk.
And just offer their, explore and have a discussion with you potentially, or someone in the team, about donating the computers. Ideally, that's your absolute
absolutely, that would be great. And we're also, just so you know, slightly different to the we're piloting a scheme at the moment called Second Chance Reframed, that is separate from the computers, and it's a different skill set, but it's teaching people kind of how framing skills, and so that is something that we're just starting at the moment, and it is a pilot scheme, but again, it's taking something, old picture frames, that again people don't really have much use for, and it's more of a creative side, and teaching people how to frame. So that's something to look out for. Watch this space for that, but different to computers. But again, teaching a skill to vulnerable adults.
So we have a question in to Charlotte, and it's if someone's tendering for work in a region and they wanted to commit to support 10 young people in their social value answers, expect, and to improve their employee chances, is that something they could do with Second Chance?
Absolutely. So often we have had, well, either through financial donations. So corporates have donated money to us, and then that money is put towards the training scheme. And it puts people through the accredited training program. Again, people have donated money, and the money just goes generally towards the whole training of Second Chance. But again, if computers are donated and we're selling them, then that money comes back into the program, and it will fund people getting a computer at the at the end once they're refurbished.
Amazing. So
absolutely.
sometimes on these social value, they need to do it in the region where they're bidding for a contract. So it's a geographical thing. So is that limiting for you, given that you're a London charity, or can you work in other regions? Like, could you support training of individuals in other regions, or it's most in your
I mean,
hub in
training
London?
at the moment all takes place in London.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah. I mean, there's, we could speak on the phone, but the course and the training is all done in our offices
Yeah,
here.
right. Yeah, that's fine. Perfect. Got it. Excellent. Is there anything I haven't asked you about, just to sort of wrap up, and we don't have any other questions coming through that I didn't ask you about, but you'd like to share?
No, I think we've pretty much covered. I think we've really covered most things. But again, it's just really a plea for companies just to, even if we just have a chat and see how they can get involved, as I said, whether it's through, volunteering, mentoring, donating devices, all different ways that they can get involved. And even just to say also, sometimes when it's giving the computers back to the community, some companies will prefer that if they've given to donated 100 computers, 25 go back to that company, and they can distribute them to their local charities or wherever they choose to distribute them to. It doesn't necessarily have to be. We have waiting lists of people wanting computers, but if a company would prefer to support a specific charity, if it's
more
to a
local to
refugee
them.
charity, if it's to a school, if it's to a whoever, we don't mind where the computers go, so long as we know they're going to people that need them.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, that's really useful, because a lot of businesses we work with really want to support their we're local to them. One more comment and question, and back on the waste stream of old picture frames. If a business has a waste stream that has value but no home at the moment, and potentially something, is it something that you'd be interested in exploring with them,
Absolutely.
and can they
Yeah,
get in touch?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Great.
No problem.
Excellent.
If anybody just emails through the info@secondchance.co.uk, then we'll pick that up and respond.
And as you grow, are you looking to expand into any other regions in the UK? Is that somewhere on the
Potentially,
plan?
yeah, that is on the plan. We would love to, yeah.
Amazing.
We're currently looking into different ways of how we can expand and how we can grow. As I say, we're a small charity. We have 3 teachers, somebody in charge of our IT, and 2 of us who are kind of just organizing the whole, the running, the partnerships.
Yeah.
But we would love. We're a growing charity and are very ambitious to grow and to help more people.
It's amazing. Well, good. All the best of luck. I have loved talking to you. I love what you do. We
Thank you,
definitely
Rondi.
be massive fans on the sidelines, and support you wherever we can, and do any introductions as we can. But I really appreciate that, and yeah, good luck with growth and donations and training and supporting the digital divide. So thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Charlotte. And
Thank you.
yeah,
Thanks for your time. Thank you, everybody.
okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Well,
Okay.
thank you.
Bye.